Hello all and welcome back to Time to Dice Character Creation, where we make your favorite characters in Pathfinder 2e. Today we're making Usopp, Brave Warrior of the Sea and Sniper of the Straw Hat Pirates. Usopp is a master at shooting anything from slingshots to cannons, but his signature weapon is the mighty Kurokabuto, a slingshot of his own making that uses the power of Skypian dials to deliver impressive attacks at even more impressive distances. So without further ado, let's get started. Usopp is a human, so we're going to take the human ancestry. This gives us 8 hit points and an ability boost to Dex and Charisma. We will also pick up Versatile Heritage to get a free general feat. We are going to get Quick Feet with the Feet Fleet, increasing our movement speed by 5 feet, allowing us to outrun danger at a moment's notice. For background, we are going to pick up Charlatan, reflecting our tendencies to tell tall tales. This will give us a boost to both Dex and Charisma, and skill training in both Deception and Underworld lore. We also pick up the Charming Liar feat, allowing us to improve a target's attitude toward us with a Deception check. Perfect for telling our tales of our adventures as Captain Usopp. Alright, for our class we have a couple different boxes we need to check. First and foremost, we need to be skilled in ranged weapons. Usopp's bread and butter is fighting from a range, so this is a must. Next, we need a way to recreate Usopp's observation hockey, allowing us to find our foes no matter the distance or concealment. Finally, Usopp has a knack for picking up various items and using them to augment his sniping, such as pop greens from Boyne Archipelago and dials from Skypea. A fighter could get legendary proficiency in slings, but their perception maxes out at master. Investigator gets legendary perception, but doesn't have a way to replicate Usopp's more mystical abilities. Ranger, however, gets us master proficiency in all martial weapons, has a ton of support for seeing through concealment, and has focus spells to replicate our unique ammunition. An argument could be made also for Inventor, as it really reflects upon how Usopp made all his own gear and is constantly making adjustments to make it more powerful. But in the end, Inventors only get Master and Perception, and it just didn't feel right that Zoro got Legendary Perception by level 20 and Usopp didn't. The Ranger class gets us 10 plus con hit points per level, as well as an ability boost to Dex. We also start out expert in Perception, Fortitude, and Reflex, while being trained in Will. We also pick up the Nature and Survival skills, as well as 4 more skills, plus our Intelligence modifier, and we gain training in both simple and martial weapons, as well as light and medium armor. For our ability scores, we are maxing out Dex. From running away to sniping, Usopp specializes in everything the Dex score represents. Charisma is next. Usopp manages to tell the most absurd lies and still somehow have people believe him. Constitution is at a +1. Usopp gets a bad rep for being weak, but honestly, he can take a beating. Wisdom is next, and we don't want this too high because Usopp is particularly weak against fear, but he has amazing perception. Intelligence is also at a +1, and while we may not be as experienced, we impressed even Frankie with our craftiness. And finally, we have strength. Usopp doesn't start out very strong, being a brave warrior is his dream after all, not his reality. Now let's move on to skills. This build will end up getting Legendary and Deception. Usopp is so good at lying, reality itself is often tricked into making his lies come true. And Stealth, because Usopp's reputation as a coward is well earned. We will end up in Master and Nature. Pop grains are found on only one island in the world, and you manage to grow them on your ship. We get training in quite a few skills, so buckle up. Acrobatics, so we can maintain balance on moving ships. Arcana, so we can understand foes' devil fruit abilities. Athletics, so that after 2 years of training on an island, we have a six-pack to show for it. Diplomacy, to convince our foes to stand down. Intimidation, to make our foes stand down. Medicine, to patch up our allies, at least until we can get them to chopper. Performance, because we are pretty good at impressions. Underworld lore, to know what pirates to avoid. Society, so we can know what marines to avoid. Survival, so we can know what animals to avoid. And thievery, so that we can avoid a fight even when we need to take the MacGuffin from a bad guy. Got all that? Good. It will be on the test. At level 1, we can pick up the Initiate Warden feat, letting us pick up an Initiate Warding focus spell. We are going to take Gravity Weapon, letting us activate the impact dials on our Kabuto, adding a status bonus to our first strike each round equal to double the number of damage dice. We also get Hunt Prey, letting us designate a single target and gain a +2 circumstance bonus on perception checks to seek them, or survival checks to track them. Think of this as our first observation hockey ability. Finally, we can select the Hunter's Edge. The Precision Hunter's Edge adds 1d8 damage to the first strike each round against our hunted prey. This increases to 2d8 at 11th level and 3d8 at 19th level. At level 2, we can select the Hunter's Aim class feat, allowing us to spend 2 actions to make a ranged strike with a +2 circumstance bonus against our hunted prey that ignores both the target's concealed condition and lesser cover. Add this with the action we need to reload, and we have used up our entire turn to effectively make 1 strike. And that's assuming we used our Hunt Prey last round. We will need to pick up a few things to tighten the action economy later. We also pick up the Slippery Prey skill feat, cutting our multiple attack penalty for attempting the escape action by 1. This penalty will be cut by an additional point when we reach Master in Acrobatics or Athletics, and be ignored altogether when we reach Legendary. At level 3, we pick up the Confabulator skill feat, cutting the penalty down for lying to a creature who's already caught us in a lie from a -4 to a -2, and then to a -1 when we reach Master in Deception, and ignore it altogether when we reach Legendary Proficiency. We may not need this to fool Luffy or Chopper, but it will definitely come in handy when dealing with Robin or Nami. We also get Will Expertise, bumping our proficiency with Will saves up to Expert. At level 4, we pick up the Running Reload class feat, which allows us to combine the action to reload with the action we use to stride, meaning we can now effectively use Hunter's Aim, Reload, and Stride in one round. The Quick Repair skill feat cuts the time it takes to use the repair action down to 1 minute. When we obtain Master in Crafting, this takes 3 actions, and when we reach Legendary, it only takes 1 action. Before the crew met Frankie, Usopp was doing his best to repair the ship on the fly. At level 5, we get our first round of ability score bonuses, increasing our Dex, Con, Int, and Wisdom scores. Sense Allies lets us know the location of our allies within 60 feet of us using our observation hockey. We also get both the Trackless Journey class feature, allowing us to cover our tracks without moving at half speed, and the Ranger Weapon Expertise, bumping our proficiency with weapons to Expert and giving us the critical specialization of attacks against our hunted prey. For slings, that means when we critically hit our hunted prey, they must make a Fortitude save against our class DC or be stunned 1. And if we use our Usopp hammer, they must make the same save or be knocked prone. At level 6, we can pick up the Masterful Warding class feat, giving us another focus spell. Ranger's Bramble lets us get our first Pop Green ability, making 1 5-foot burst within 100 feet. Each surface in the square is difficult terrain, and any creature who starts their turn in the area must make a reflex save or have their movement speed cut by 10 feet. If they critically fail, not only are they immobilized, but they take 2d4 persistent bleed damage. We also get a skill feat. The Fleeing Diversion skill feat gives us access to Usopp's most powerful attack, the Usopp Rubber Band of Doom. With this, when we use our deception check to cause a distraction, we can immediately use our reaction to hide, sneak, or step away. Totally Usopp, right? At level 7, we get another general feat. Toughness gives us additional hit points equal to our level to reflect Usopp's ability to take a beating. We also get natural reflexes, bumping our reflex proficiency to Master, and Perception Mastery doing the same thing to our perception. Finally, level 7 brings us Weapon Specialization, boosting our damage with weapons we are expert in by 2. At level 8, we can pick up Deadly Aim, allowing us to make a shot against our hunted prey at a -2 penalty in exchange for a +4 circumstance bonus to the damage. This bonus will increase to +6 at 11th level and +8 at 15th level. The Quiet Ally skill feat helps us when we are sneaking around as a group by letting us only roll once using the lowest stealth modifier. This is great. Just try to make sure you're not in a group with Luffy. He isn't the quietest boy. At level 9, we can pick up an Ancestry feat. Multi-Talented lets us exchange this for an Archetype feat. The only catch is it must be a multi-class Archetype feat. We are going to pick up the Gunslinger Dedication. Gunslinger is a class that I consider for Usopp, but Usopp uses slingshots, not really guns. The build would actually probably be a lot better if he did use guns. Anyway, the archetype itself doesn't give us much of anything right now besides skill increase, but we do get to pick up a Gunslinger's Way, which will become relevant later on, so let's pick up the Way of the Sniper. Other than that, we get 2 class features at this level. Nature's Edge makes foes count as off guard to you when they're in difficult terrain, which pairs well with our Ranger's Bramble spell. And Ranger's Expertise increases both our Ranger DC and our Warden spell DC up to Expert. Level 10, we can max out our focus pool with Peerless Warden class feat, letting us pick up our final focus spell. Hunter's Vision lets us use our observation hockey to see the hunted prey, even if they're invisible or in the darkness, and we ignore that foe's concealment condition for 10 minutes. This is everything short of an X-ray vision. We also get the Slippery Secret skill feat, meaning when a spell tries to read our thoughts, tell whether we're lying, or reveal our identity, we can attempt a deception check, and if we succeed, the spell reveals nothing. At level 11, we can take the Skitter General feat, letting us crawl around at half speed when prone. Usually standing up from prone requires an action, which are hard to come by in this build, so if we can simply mitigate the penalty from being prone, that will get us much farther. We also get 3 class features at this level. Warden's Endurance bumps our Fortitude saves to Masters and bumps our successes to crit successes. Medium Armor Expertise bumps our proficiency in armor up to Expert, and Unimpeded Step lets us ignore difficult terrain and treat greater difficult terrain as difficult terrain. Level 12 doesn't have much in the way of class feats, so let's pick up the Practice Reloads Archetype feat. That gives us the unique reload action of our Gunslinger's Way. For Way of the Snapper, that means we get covered reloads, letting us either take cover or hide in the same action we reload. We also get the skill feat Swift Sneak, letting us move at our full speed when we sneak. Now we no longer have to choose between running and hiding, we can do both. At level 13, we pick up the Bounce Back Ancestry feat, meaning the first time we come back from being unconscious, we don't gain the wounded condition. I think all of the Straw Hats have this feat, but what can I say? The Straw Hats get beat up a lot, and they're always ready to jump back into the fray. Okay, well, maybe Usopp's a little less ready to jump back into the fray, but you get the picture. We also get Martial Weapon Mastery, bumping up our proficiency with martial weapons to master. At level 14, we can take Sense the Unseen, which allows us to automatically detect a creature that we failed to seek, making them merely hidden to us. For our skill feat, we can pick up full senses, allowing us to effectively hide from creatures despite their special senses, such as Tremor Sense or Scent. Level 15 gives us another round of ability scores, giving us boosts to Dex, Int, Wisdom, and Charisma scores. We can also pick up Incredible Initiative. This gives us a +2 circumstance bonus to our initiative scores, our observation hockey giving us an advance warning to danger. We also have class features at this level. Greater Natural Reflex bumps our reflex saves to legendary, bumps our critical failures up to normal failures, and allows us to take half damage when we fail reflex saves against damaging effects. Greater Weapon Specialization gives us another boost to damage, giving us a total of +6 to weapons we are master in. Finally, Perception Legend bumps our proficiency in Perception up to legendary. Level 16 gives us another workaround to reloading with Warden's Reload. This feat lets us reload as a free action immediately after we cast a Warden spell, letting us combine our reload action with a self-buff with a gravity weapon, or negate an opponent's concealment with Hunter's Vision. We also get the Charlatan skill feat at this level, allowing us to attempt a deception check when we activate a magic item to cast a spell. If we succeed against Onlooker's Perception CC, it appears as if we had cast the spell instead of the item. Usopp has a tendency to take credit for other people's feats, be it Big Mom's Conqueror's Hockey or Sniper King's inventing of Kabuto. At level 17, we fully unlock the power of God Usopp with Heroic Presence, allowing us to inspire up to 10 willing allies within 30 feet, granting them 12 temporary hit points and a +2 status bonus to saves against mental effects. Also, this level grants us Masterful Hunter, granting us quite a few bonuses. For starters, our class DC and focus spell DC increases to Master. Next, we can attack into our second or third ranged interment with a ranged weapon against our hunted prey with no penalty. We also boost our bonuses from Hunt Prey to Perception and Survival checks to +4. Finally, we deal 1d8 precision damage against our hunted prey on our second attack against the foe in the same round, and at 19th level, the bonus upgrades to 2d8, and our third strike does 1d8. At level 18, we pick up Perfect Shot, letting us spend our entire round to make a single strike against our hunted prey. If the attack hits, we deal maximum damage, no dice roll needed. After this shot, our turn automatically ends. Notably, if we are quickened, we can use the extra action before this action to squeeze in an extra action. We also pick up a skill feat at this level. Legendary Sneak allows us to hide or sneak even when we're not benefiting from cover or concealment. Usopp has a lot of practice cowering in fear or deflecting attention on some more powerful members of the crew. At level 19, we can reach the pinnacle of observation hockey with True Perception. This allows us to constantly gain the effects of 6th rank True Sight spell. Notably, whenever we attempt to counteract a spell with this spell, we use our Perception modifier. We also get Medium Armor Mastery, boosting our proficiency in AC to Master, and Swift Prey, letting us start every turn with a free action Hunt Prey. At level 20, we cap off our ability scores with a boost to Strength, Dex, Con, and Int. We also get the class feat Superior Sight, allowing us to gain a permanent +2 circumstance bonus to perception checks and low light vision. We also automatically succeed any flat check to target any concealed, hidden, or invisible creature. This basically makes our Hunter's Vision focus spell redundant, but having that spell gives us another focus point that we can use for Gravity Weapon or Ranger Bramble, so it isn't worth retraining. We also get the reveal of Machinations, letting us convince a foe that we played a significant role in their life and that they have been playing into our hands with every choice they make. We attempt a deception check against our foe's will DC. On a success, the foe is frightened 2 or frightened 3 on a critical success. We also learn something about the foe as if we had succeeded on a recall knowledge check. Alright, now that we have finished this build, let's take a look at some equipment we could use to really make this build shine. First off, our primary weapon is Kabuto. For this, we are going to use a Halfling Sling Staff, combining a decent range with a powerful D10 damage die. And with Masterful Hunter, we can safely fire our sling with a range up to 240 feet. The only downside is that weapons require a reload action after every shot. For runes, we can use True Rooting to immobilize our foes for 1 round and making them clumsy for as long as they are immobilized. The Keen rune increases our crit success chance by 5%, and the Speed rune gives us an extra action at each of our turns to strike with this weapon. Next, we need a way to replicate our pop greens. Green Star Devil's already covered by our Hunter's Bramble spell, but we need some equipment to cover some of the other abilities. For Green Star Reflexia, we can use our aromatic ammunition to give a foe a scent that is easy to track, and making them have difficulty hiding, or olfactory obfuscators to hide our own scent, hiding us from foes with the scent ability. For Green Star Skull Bomb Grass, we can use explosive ammo to deal 10d6 fire damage to everything within a 10-foot burst. Green Star Human Drakes can be replicated with an Imp Shot. On a successful strike, an Imp emerges to harry the opponent, giving them a -2 circumstance penalty to attack and skill checks. This lasts for a minute, but at the beginning of each of the foe's turns, you attempt a DC 11 flat check, and on a failure, the Imp disappears early. Green Star Boaty Banana can be replicated with a Boat Marvelous Miniature. This makes a boat. Any questions? Finally, for our special attack Firebird Star, we can use an elemental ammunition, adding an additional 3d4 persistent fire damage to each of our shots. Alright, now that we are finished, let's take a look at the build as a whole. First off, we are a Master Sniper. Our Halfling Sling Staff has a range increment of 80 feet, so that means we have a maximum range of 400 feet. Not only that, Masterful Hunter means that the first 240 feet have no penalty. Next, we become Legendary in Perception, and that plus Superior Sight and Hunter's Vision means that foes have little chance of hiding from us. Finally, between Covered Reload, Warden's Reload, and Running Reload, we have an amazing action compression to do one of these actions on a turn anyway, so this build can in a way ignore the action tax. But that action tax still exists. Between the need to reload and the want to set up Gravity Weapon and hunt prey before we shoot, mean we have a good deal of setup to do before we can even make a strike, meaning we can only reliably make one strike per turn. Finally, other than Ranger's Bramble, we have little that we can do for enemy crowds. But if we work together with the rest of the crew, we can take out key targets and turn the tide of any battle. If you would like to see more of these videos, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you would like to see different videos, make sure to comment which characters you would like to see us make in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.